As I like to start the show with a question, what do you think the acronym for BOAT is? Do you know that? Well, we're going to find that out because today's guest loves to spend his time out on the open ocean. But before we get into all that, I've got a couple things I want to throw your way. First of all, many thanks to liverishi.com for their continued support. I love these guys. Great company, third-party tested, all organic. Been using this stuff long before they became a supporter of the show. Had a great night's sleep last night using the 1,000 milligram tincture. Man, just bring your sleep to the next level. You think you sleep good now? No. Check it out. Use the code word TABLE and get a kick-ass discount. Can't tell you what it is on the air, but you are going to be pleasantly surprised when so. Jump over there. Second, YouTube. I got a YouTube channel. Do you know that? Check it out. Walt's Kitchen Table. Underneath my smiling mug, hit the subscribe button because I got some cool things coming up, and with that, you'll be notified. Obviously, I don't know where you're listening to this now, but from my website, Walt's Kitchen Table, you can find everywhere that this is available. Then, the big news is I have more content coming your way. I love creating content. I hope you guys enjoy listening to it just as much as I enjoy creating it. And they're going to be shorter clips, 3 to 5, 6 minutes long. Might be a highlight of an older show. Might be me just babbling for 3-4 minutes, telling a story maybe. I love telling stories. So look out for those. I'm very excited about that. So, on to the show. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Harry, since this episode, he has obtained his captain's license. So big shout out to Captain Harry. Old school dude. Love talking to this guy. Some of the things that we get into are palm trees in Ireland, flying cars, kids and family. How about throwing tanks off of ships? That's interesting. And then his story about having a burial at sea. Wait till you get into that. I was shocked. So, hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. Talking and anything. You'll probably hear my wife come in. You'll hear the cats fuck around. We hear us drinking. If the phone, it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
Okay.
Because that's what life is. Life is not uninterrupted.
No.
And
True.
You take it in stride and you keep moving along with it,
Yep.
So for context, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm a financial advisor and a life insurance broker.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I also have my hands in a number of things. So,
Okay.
yeah, I got relationships in the property and casualty business, so that I'm referring people to, or they're referring to me. But for the larger part, it's...
How long you been doing that?
I came back into the business back in 2000. What year is this? 2020, right? So I came back into the business.
We're supposed to have flying cars and shit like in the Jetsons. Remember
I saw that. Yeah, I feel really ripped off. No, I came back in 2010. So I had started in the 80s as a kid out of school. Got hired by a couple of my clients, went into another industry altogether, the optical business. Created my own brands, created a company in 97, and then licensed out my brands in 06. So I came back into Wall Street in 07, actually, not 2010. So it's 13 years.
Geez, so you're not a spring chicken in that business.
Oh, God, no. I've had all sorts of market highs, market corrections, and I kind of just roll with it and look at the long-term situation.
But your business gets a bad rap, dude.
It is
events,
because,
don't they?
yeah. Well, there's people that have taken abuses with it at every different level, be it the companies or individuals.
Yeah.
And as the public or the investor, they don't know which way to turn. Now you got all these folks that are trading themselves, buying stocks. Like my own kid, he gave me his one year's tax return. He had 36 pages of transactions. He didn't pay any commissions. Okay. And, he had a net return which was minimal, but generated 36 pages of a year. And he was day trading and pulling out pennies while he was in college. But he learned, and, now he thinks of himself as an investor, but he doesn't take any broker's advice. So he doesn't understand the economic cycles. Ooh. He just buys things he likes, and he knows. Well, there's a lot of people like that out there. They don't realize there's so many different sectors to the market. You know,
of course.
There's a reason why a company's paying a dividend.
Right,
and in a lower interest rate environment, people are gravitating maybe towards stocks that pay a reliable dividend, your utilities and things like that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that because
but I
got all sorts of legalese stuff that I got to follow and disclaimers and everything else.
Well,
so,
I'd like to put context into who's sitting in front of me, so people listening, in case we get into talking about stuff. But
I purposely shy away because everything I do, and this is again going back to the public, is to protect the public. So a conversation like this needs to be scripted and approved by compliance.
Yeah.
So
Fuck
I'm
that.
not going to.
We don't need to talk about that then.
No, but I'm just saying that's how regulated we are.
Yeah. Okay? No, I get it.
If I go do a seminar somewhere, everybody in the audience, you're required, and exactly what I'm going to say, it's approved by compliance, and you follow the script.
I guess I understand the reason for that, but for somebody that's talking about it, it makes it nice because that's what you can talk about, and you can't talk about anything else.
No, but I could talk about life insurance all day long, or disability, or long-term care. I mean, my business is that diverse,
right?
That I'm not just stuck talking about stocks and bonds.
Yeah,
it's not that. The stuff that I did in my mid to late 20s and early 30s is completely different than what I'm doing today in my 50s.
Okay, all right,
totally different.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do want to ask you though. That picture, you ice fishing?
No, I was actually that picture that you sent that you're using is from me surf fishing actually.
Surf fishing?
Yeah, I was down in where was I that morning? I was in Island Beach State Park,
Jersey,
in December.
Is that Jersey?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's south of Seaside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now surf fishing. So in my mind, you're on a surfboard with a.
Yeah. No, you're using anywhere from 9 to 10 to 12-foot pole fishing rod.
Okay.
Striped bass are running, which is my favorite target fish. So most of the time, I'm on a boat.
I was just going to ask you, is that boat or off a dock or a pier?
Yeah, I'm off a boat.
Okay.
Pretty much, quite a bit, and you'll learn something new about me in a moment. But yeah, and then at other times I am fishing off the surf, and I enjoy
what do you mean
it.
Fishing off the surf?
In other words, I'm standing on the beach.
Oh, a fish. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can be onshore or offshore.
Okay.
Majority of the times I'm offshore.
What do you like better?
It depends. Some days I don't want a big production. I just want to go fishing.
So you just walk down to the beach and throw a line in.
Yep. And I fish. I literally fish year round. So in a few weeks, with any luck, I mean the weather's not playing with us right now in our favor, but I'll also ice fish.
But so you go out and take a tent or a...
No, I'm not one of those guys. It doesn't get that kind of cold like you see out in the Midwest and up north. I mean, it does get cold, but you dress properly. And no, it's just get together with a bunch of guys and have some beers.
Yep.
Put some holes in the ice, catch some fish,
and
bullshit.
and sit right out in the open on the ice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you growing up in New York, did you ice fish up there?
I did, yeah.
No,
I didn't start. I started fishing when bring you all the way back. Started in the Bronx, moved out of the Bronx when I was about 12. Went up to Pearl River, New York.
What took you up there? Work? Your parents work?
My parents moved. Had to get us out of the Bronx. The Bronx was just imploding. The neighborhood we were in, the dynamics were changing. So went to Pearl River, New York, which is a bedroom community about 25 miles north. of the GW Bridge on the Jersey side of the river.
Okay. All right.
So
all
it's where Rockland County forms that little triangle.
Yep.
It's an awesome, awesome town. I still go up there. In fact, the beer I'm drinking right now is from there.
What's the name of that company?
Defiant.
Defiant.
Yeah. So Pearl River is one of these towns, about 64% Irish or Irish descent. Probably every third or fourth person is a New York City employee of some form or fashion. My dad was one of those.
What do you do? What'd your dad do?
My dad, when we were younger, living in the Bronx, he was in construction.
Okay.
One of the last big jobs he had worked on was the World Trade Center. And he got into housing inspector. And then when he got sick in 06, the fall of 06, he was deputy chief inspector of housing. So he had spent a considerable amount of time down at Ground Zero. The city brought in all their top brass. Every building down and around Ground Zero had to be re-inspected.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
So he spent probably on, not to diminish what the rescue people were doing, but there were a lot of other people doing stuff that they had to do also during that period.
Yeah.
And my dad was one of them. He got sick, and we lost him by April of 07.
Okay.
So, but at the same time, while all of this was taking place with Dad getting sick, I was getting an opportunity to license out my brands of optical products. And I got on a plane, went to Michigan, and an old buddy of mine that I had worked with said, hey, a Democrat's coming into the White House next year. They're going to target the wealthy. I'll teach you estate planning. Do you want to come back into Wall Street? And I said, yeah, okay. And I just literally made my decision like that.
Good.
And I says, when do you want me to start? He goes, how about January 1st? Dad had just gotten sick. I knew I'd be studying for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, sure.
Getting back all my professional licenses. And I took my turn along with my brothers and did the chemo route and being there for Dad and, being optimistic. But sadly, we lost him within 6 months or so.
Whew, went quick, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd it hit? What kind of-
Lung, yeah.
Was he a smoker, or did he get it from
He had
something?
smoked as a young man, but he had quit probably about 12, 15 years prior. So it could have been anything. It could have been just been bad timing, or 5 years prior, 6 years prior, the dust. I mean, he inhaled enough Mason dust in his lifetime.
Could have been something, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just over Thanksgiving, I lost my mom to cancer.
Yeah,
so
it's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thanks, man. There's nobody that has not been affected one way or other by cancer.
Yeah.
Know somebody or
Yep.
directly affected. What the hell brought you back down to middle of Jersey?
What brought me from New York? Well, it's not that far away from here to Montclair, from Pearl River. I met a gal.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I was working in the Paramus office of Prudential Bache at the time, and I made a move, went over to E.F. Hutton, and a fella I palled around with and became good friends with, he was dating my wife's cousin.
Oh, okay.
And, in fact, we're in Montclair now. This was one of the places that her and I used to meet, because it was central. She was from Westfield.
Okay, yep.
And I was from Pearl River, so it was roughly half the distance. And we'd go out dating here, or we'd meet in Hoboken. And
Yeah.
one thing led to another, hanging, got the traditional shore house with her brothers, and we all palled around. And next thing you know, I'm getting married to her.
Nice. How long you been married?
She's going to kill me if I get it wrong. I know I'm in my 28th year, I believe.
That's awesome. I love putting people on the spot. When's your anniversary? Fuck up.
Yeah. I told her I was doing this, and she says, oh, really? And like she knew it. Knew your program. I'm okay.
All right, okay. I hope she does.
Maybe she's spying on my Facebook friends. Who knows?
Yeah. What the hell? You ain't got nothing to hide, right? No, that's the same.
I'm fairly transparent.
Then how'd you get involved? Because I met you in a chamber event, right?
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with all that? Just
Christ, I lost a bet. No,
Oh God! What a great answer.
it was actually a way to
Give back a little.
give back, but also it was a comfortable way for me to prospect for clients. Let people get to see me in a networking atmosphere, because what I was learning when I was going to these networking things, along with other insurance or financial professionals, they'd show up and they thought magically people are going to throw
money
their checkbooks out. Walt, it doesn't work like that.
No, and then it's the same with people with a college degree. I come out with a college degree. That means I'm going to make $200,000 a year, right? Oh, man, come on. Yeah.
No. So I found that as a very comfortable way. The marketing in the morning program that I was part of, and I've been doing it so long now. It was one of the first things I started doing in 2007, was getting involved with this. So, I dipped my toe in, I pulled it out, and we were, our business model back in 2007 is different than what it was now, and the firm I started with, my buddy's firm, has since imploded during the 2010 crash.
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Because we were in a particular specialty, and it backfired on us. He was right about a Democrat coming into the White House.
Sure.
They didn't target the wealthy the way they thought, but hey, so I find myself needing to know people.
Yeah, of course.
And the Chamber of Commerce was just one of those things, and one thing led to another, and I knew a lot of people in the Mount Olive area because we had lived in Mount Olive prior to moving outside of Hackettstown.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we've been 27 years in the area.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was trying to get to, is where...
Yeah, so 13 or 12, I always get it wrong, and Mary will correct me, but 12 years in Flanders, and 13 out here, 14 now out here.
Oh, okay. Man, that is one thing I don't miss. Networking, dude.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I know. And believe me,
it works because
yeah,
it's a great way to, meet people and doing all that. It totally works, but I don't fucking miss it.
True, but you're also prospecting based upon, what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You're prospecting, but you have a particular product.
Yeah.
Imagine a guy like me that's selling promises
well,
in one aspect on the financial side, or talking about risks on the life insurance and long-term
and not
care.
giving you a physical product, right? So I'm writing you a check every month, but I don't have like something in hand.
Well, you do have stuff in hand with people like me. I mean, it could be a financial plan, an overview of what you're doing.
Right.
We have to sit down and talk to people about their goals. What are we hoping to achieve? Well, I want to make money. That's a byproduct.
I was just gonna say, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Everybody,
where
go play
do you
want
to be? I mean, I'm putting things in place on a regular basis towards a retirement. Now, the kind of lifestyle and job and things that I do, I'm not going to retire. I enjoy doing it. It's not physical work. I'm not building houses.
Right,
I'm not laying tile and blowing out my knees.
Yeah, and
I'm having
blocks
conversations.
And yeah, and carrying blocks and shit.
Right. Look, your body wears out.
Absolutely. What's that? Is it Fidelity?
Yeah.
That had that commercial with the green line on the sidewalk. So follow this line.
Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty cool, because they'd stop and look in a window at something, and the green line wouldn't go that way, and they're like, "No, we gotta stay on this." I just like the visual aspect of that. It's like, hey man, stay on your plan, dude.
You have to, and pay yourself first. Like I talk to my kids, and my kids are 26 and 24, and you pay yourself first. My daughter's seeing it. She's got a 401k. She,
Now, are they in the same type of business? Are they?
My daughter's in sales with a dental supply company, and she had cut her teeth with a company called Cintas.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah, exactly. And my son is a wannabe actor.
No shit.
Does stand-up comedy, and
I love stand-up comedy. Where's does he do anything now, or?
Yeah, he's in the background in a lot of stuff. He was in
cool.
Wonderful Mrs. Maisel, episode 1, series 3. He's in FBI on a regular basis now. He's been doing 2 or 3 weeks worth of different shoots.
Oh, cool.
So he's in that intelligence office where all the FBI agents are.
Yeah.
He'll be in the background somewhere, sitting at a desk.
I have a couple really good friends that are professional actors and actress, and they teach at NYU.
Okay.
And what's the film school in there? Atlantic Film Company.
Okay.
So if you want, I can.
Yeah, he ain't going back to school. He graduated
Well, no,
from
not go to
Montclair.
school, but
right.
at least talk with them guys.
Oh,
and-
absolutely, yeah.
they're-
Well, he's just did. He took another level of improv classes at United Citizens Brigade.
Okay.
So that's the New York equivalent of Second City. So he's regularly going back to school and honing his talents, and then he'll do stand up periodically. Background. He just was on this week, Billions, which is a Showtime show.
That's one of our top 3 shows we watch.
Yeah, he was.
love
They
Billions.
did a scene that's supposed to look like it was shot at Yale University, and he told me they filmed it at Fordham University in the Bronx.
Yeah. That's where my wife went.
Yeah. Oh wow, smart girl.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he sent me a picture. He was getting nostalgic because prior to ending up at Montclair, he had hopes of maybe playing football, and he was kicking and punting.
Oh, okay.
He kicked his first 50-yarder at Fordham University at a college camp.
Oh, very nice.
And but it's the baby Ivy League. You have to have the right grease and the whole bit. And he didn't have all the boxes checked.
Yeah, sure,
good ball player, but you need the grades, son. This is when you should have listened to Dad.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, too, with like football, it gets like, so we'll just say there's 40, well, how many? 36 teams, right? 32 teams. Anyway, and there's 40 guys on a team.
Right.
That's not a lot compared to how many people play football every year trying to make it into that.
Yeah, you sit and you look at the statistics. You're not going to go. As I explained,
you got to be incredibly just.
Yeah. As I explained to my kids, both of them, because both of them were athletes, and I talk very plainly. We have our Jesus talk. I don't blow smoke at them. I respected them.
My mom used to call it "come into Jesus talk."
Yeah, we'd sit at our kitchen table and have discussions just like this. I mean, I was very, very actively involved in the Mount Olive soccer program. Moved my daughter from one program to better her, and then at a certain age, I stopped coaching her because she needed to get to the next level, and it wasn't going to be from Dad.
Right.
She ended up.
Plus, it's a benefit for her to be coached and talked to and yelled at from somebody else other
Correct.
than you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where probably a lot of the benefit from a team sport comes from.
True. Absolutely. And she's still playing soccer to this day.
Good.
And mixed adult leagues and out in Morristown. But, I mean, she played it in college as well, and it was a great thing for her. And my son made a decision to go to Montclair. They were going to redshirt him for football. I said, hey, pal, I'm only in this deal for 4 years with you. You're going to do this? That's fine. He changed his mind. Next thing I know, he's on the rugby team.
Oh.
Played 4 years of rugby. Loved it. What a great bunch of guys.
Yeah, that's a great sport.
Oh, great sport. Great sport. Yeah.
Fun to watch, too.
It is. It's a great game. Yeah.
Does he do any stand-up comedy like local?
He was out at the Stanhope House across the street from your old haunts.
Yeah. We just went to Bananas over in
Where's that, West Orange?
No, Hasbrook Heights.
That's it. Okay.
So Saturday night we're hanging out and we're like, what do you want to do tonight? Like, oh, I'd like to see some comedy, Went over and man, did we have a good time. Oh my God, that just takes fucking balls to get up there.
This kid's good. He tells a good story.
Does he?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can direct you to his website, and he's got stuff posted and
good.
He's periodically he's been at the Broadway Comedy Club on the main stage, Greenwich Comedy Club.
Nice.
Yeah. So he hasn't like hit the circuit and traveled and all of that stuff all over the country.
Now is he looking mostly for comedy or for acting?
I think he's going to end up more with the acting. He's going to use comedy,
hone his skills,
maybe
in front of a crowd and all that kind of
and
stuff.
then maybe get discovered. The improv will add another level to it.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a whole plan. I'm very proud of what he's been doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, does he still live out here? Is he living
He's living in Jersey City.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice. What a place that is.
Yeah.
I'm in there every day.
It's come a long way from what it used to be.
Yeah, and Hoboken and all that. Holy man.
Yeah.
Phew. I saw a stat one. This is years ago, and I know I'll get the numbers wrong. I'll mess the numbers up, but you'll get the point. There's like, what they say, 180,000 people living in Hoboken, and 78,000 parking spots.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, he has a dive car. He probably gets up and has to move it from one side of the street to the other because he's a big fan of mass transit. He doesn't drive. Most of the sets he's been on is out in Greenpoint.
easy.
So he commutes. He knows his way around and fills his Metro card, and off he goes.
Yeah, that's the thing around Jersey City, New York, and all that. Public transportation between the bus and the train.
Yeah.
Like we could walk 2 blocks from here, get on a bus, be in the city in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Walk another 4 blocks and there's a train, and it's nice. It makes it nice if you want to do something and you don't want to drive.
Out where I am now, you got
to drive around there. Yeah. And that's one thing we talk about too a lot is in Jersey, you got everything. Mm-hmm. We'll count the city as Jersey, right? Because it's across the fucking bridge or under the tunnel. So you got New York City, you got the beach, you got mountains, you got anything you want.
Yeah, and it's
Within
sad
a
how
few
many
minutes.
It's sad how many people don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah. Or people are like, I live in Jersey. Oh, it's like, man, Jersey's
beautiful.
We love living here. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't spend as much time as I used to up like in Sussex County. Other than, in my younger years, I'd ski more. These just aren't where they used to be. Yeah.
My back, I can't snowboard anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'll run up to Lake Kittatinny. A friend has a place up there, so it's one of these private lakes, and we'll ice fish.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm down the shore like every other weekend.
You like the shore?
I am now more and more, especially with the fishing and just the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working hard at adding another element to my bag of tricks. So I'm in the process right now of getting my captain's license. I'm studying.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to be busy for the next month or two. And
so you want to do that as
haven't decided.
That's your
I'm
next
either going to be running charters.
Dude,
or
you'd be a killer on it. You would be awesome at that.
Either
That
running
would be
charters or running somebody's boat or transporting boats. There's so many opportunities. They're going to be doing these, wind generators offshore. Well, they're going to take forever to build.
The windmills?
Yeah.
Where the fuck they doing that?
It's coming. So they're going to need people to run
kidding.
equipment and run the workers to and from.
Yeah.
It has to be a licensed captain. So there's work.
Oh, so it's going to be offshore. So
Offshore.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah. So even if I'm a taxi driver, I don't give a damn. I
You
just
like
enjoy being out there.
Yeah, you like being out on the water, huh?
Out in the water, in the woods, fishing.
Just outdoors.
Outdoors as much as possible.
You ever gone deep sea fishing?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Where's the coolest place the most enjoyable place you've gone deep sea fishing?
Wow. When you say deep sea, you're talking how many miles offshore? Because I've been miles offshore. I've been 28, 30 miles offshore.
Okay.
I've never gone past that per se. But I
that'd
go
be
out to
deep.
Montauk a couple of times a year.
Well, wouldn't 30 miles offshore be deep sea?
Well, it depends on the depth of the water and what you're doing.
Like the only time I've been deep sea fishing is off of Maui.
Okay.
And it took like 45 minutes to get out to sea. So I imagine that's deep
That's
sea.
totally different. You can go probably a mile offshore or less in Maui and be in 100 feet of water because the structure of those islands.
Sure, they just come straight up, basically.
Yeah, we fish off of Jersey Shore, and we're down at Seaside. You know, the water's 50 feet deep off of Seaside. You take the same distance off of further south, say Long Beach Island, and you're in 30 feet of water.
Okay.
It just depends. It changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And what's your favorite fish to get after?
right now,
All of them?
no, I'm a big striped bass.
Oh, yeah?
They're migratory fish. You know, some people call it the North America's fish.
Okay. Catch and release, or you eat them?
Combination of both, depending on the size of the fish.
Okay. All right.
You
Now,
know,
does
we
that
have
depend
size.
on-
We have size limitations.
Right.
But then, the more you get into the sport and understanding that that same 45-pounder you just caught is 20, 25 years old and produces, let's say, 20,000 eggs versus the 25-pounder that's only 5 years old that generates X amount of eggs, maybe 5,000. Well, you keep
A lot less.
right? So you
okay.
keep the smaller one that's legal
Okay.
and let go of the big cow.
Right. Take a picture of it, put it back.
Absolutely,
Let
and
'em
it all
produce.
plays into handling. And I can show
That's
you a
really-
picture. My personal best this year was 46-pounder, 51-inch fish.
No shit.
Yeah,
So the older they are, the more.
more eggs they're producing. Yeah,
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
yeah.
So you want to keep the smaller ones, leave the bigger ones
Mm-hmm. Right.
for future generations. Kind
Correct.
of thing.
Because
Yeah.
right now, even January, with the as warm as it is, there's still what we call schoolies running offshore. That's why I'm fishing off the beach now.
Okay.
So you get down there about a half hour before sunrise to about an hour, hour and a half after sunrise, and cast maybe 20, 25 feet.
Pulling stuff out, huh?
You're pulling out small ones, probably up to 14. Every now and then you get a surprise and get one that's 23, 24 inches. And they're running up and down the Jersey coastline. People don't even realize it.
Yeah. Out there.
And it's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's. I guess that's the big thing of it. You enjoy it and you have a good time doing it, right?
Yeah, I get to, there's something special about seeing a sunrise because you never get two alike.
It's like a snowflake, right?
Yeah, you just don't. It's beautiful. Now, I've fished in very hard weather against nor'easters. I mean, I've been doing this for quite a number of years. I mean, a dear friend of mine turned me on to it in my 20s.
I was just going to ask you, how long have you
We're
been-
both financial advisors, and we used to go down and he was just having his family. I was not even married yet, and turned me on to surf fishing, and we were going down to Sandy Hook in the middle of the night fishing.
So I understand the fishing. You get up in the morning and, obviously you see the sunrise, but do you go like in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. or
Oh
midnight?
God, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
really?
That's where I go now. Well, if you think about it, if I make a decision to fish down at Seaside, and I know the sunrise is at 6:30, it's going to take me 20 minutes to get myself into my gear, stop, have coffee, hit the bait shop, spend a few dollars, spent dollars at the bait shop to find out where the action is.
Well, I was going to say the bait shop is
You have
information.
to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You pay for your information because you have to frequent them.
Yep.
So it takes me 2 hours to get there. So I'm leaving the house at 4. I got to be up at 2:33.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't like go down on a Friday night and get out on the boat at 2 a.m. and fish at 2 a.m.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We not necessarily. There are times when we've gone out in a boat in complete darkness.
Okay.
It's kind of a wild feeling.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's kind of weird, right?
It really is because you got to trust your equipment. You got to trust the channel markings. You can be in a lot of trouble very quickly.
Yeah, especially off Jersey Shore, everything's all
Yeah.
yeah. You like so do you have a boat or do you use a boat that you stay out overnight and
my
stuff?
godson has a boat that he inherited from his dad. He and his dad had bought this boat prior to his pop dying. So I spend a lot of time with my godson. He's a financial advisor also.
Oh, okay.
So we go out and
You can stay on that boat?
no, we don't sleep over.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a center console, open cabin. You're in. If it's raining, you're in it. Yeah, there's no
part
place
of
to
it,
hide.
right?
It is. Well, look, you layer up. You have the right gear. you don't feel it. Right down to your gloves, your slicks. I mean,
Be prepared.
yeah.
Right.
I have dry bags. Things are stowed.
Right.
Backups to my backups.
Yep.
So we get very few surprises when we go out, but things can happen very quickly. I mean, some of the biggest fish we caught were in 6-foot swells.
And how big a boat?
It's a 28-footer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll move that around a little bit.
Oh, God, yeah. We were going out one day, as an example, and the rollers were coming into Barnegat Inlet, and they were only about 6 feet apart. We went up one. The nose came down and hit us. The next wave hit us square in the windshield. Now, fortunately, we had the shroud, and the wave went around us. But it rattled both of us to the point where we turned around and came back in. We never made it out of the inlet.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah,
fuck
we
that,
were done.
dude.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh.
It was spooky.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was even telling me a story, because now he's gone out on a couple of big tuna charters, 100-foot boat this past season, one of the worst trips he was on. He was telling me the waves were so bad that it dented the hull of the boat.
100-foot boat.
100-foot boat, and just pushed in the steel. Nobody got anything for, it was a 3-day trip, and everybody was literally kept in their racks. You couldn't get out. You couldn't walk.
Oh, it's so rough. Right?
It was that rough.
No
I mean,
shit.
you can seriously get injured.
Yeah. So on a charter like that, if you charter that, it's no matter what, weather pending, you pay for it.
If the captain makes a decision you're going out fishing, you're in for it. If they cancel due to unsafe conditions prior to leaving shore,
right,
they'll reschedule you in many cases.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody's going to get up in the morning and go, oh, yeah, let's go sink our boat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because they have as much at stake at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
where's the nicest place you've been fishing?
wow.
One that jumps in your mind.
I fished in a lot of places, but I'm still very passionate about Montauk. If I'm going surf fishing, I learned how to surf fish striped bass out there.
Yeah,
I now can go on a boat out there. I have clients out there. But
You ever charter a boat like in Florida or Bahamas or anything
no,
like that?
that's on the bucket list.
Okay.
I religiously watch a show called FishMonster.com, and they're on at 7:00 every morning on Facebook, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go down there. I'm going fishing with these guys. They know their stuff.
Some monsters,
yeah.
huh?
But as a kid, I fished in Ireland with my grandfather. Oh. But it was a stream,
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
How cool
Yeah.
is that? How old were you?
Oh, I spent my summers there as a kid. So I started at about 6 or so.
That's on our bucket list. Well, my wife has been there. I've never been there. We want to go together.
You got to do it.
Yeah. What isn't the time of year? Isn't it roughly the same here? The weather, Pat. So if it's like December is basically December there too, right?
It's December, but you're not going to get the harsh cold. You get a wet cold.
Yeah.
Understanding our weather system, the Gulf Stream comes up along our coast.
Yep.
Around Nova Scotia and
Yep.
dumps on Ireland and England. That's why they get so much rain and so many beautiful colors of green. So it's not
Is that why
uncommon on the
England's always
south.
wet?
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's not so uncommon in the southwest of Ireland to see palm trees, because those same seeds that come off the palm trees in Florida and will float and find their way.
No shit.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So you see palm
documented.
trees in Ireland?
In the southwest, yeah.
That might be the name of the episode. Palm trees in Ireland. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's a beautiful country. I just both my parents are from there, so
But you were born here.
I was, yeah.
Okay. Was your parents born there? Your parents were
Both
born?
of them, yeah.
Or born in Ireland?
Yeah. My mother's
cool.
here on a green card all these years.
No kidding.
Yeah. My dad had to become a citizen to work for the city of New York.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
And your mom just green card the whole time, huh?
Never bothered. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd she do for work? Home?
She's home. She's retired now. She's in her 70s, but she ran a really great business, daycare, before it got all legalized and mumbo jumbo.
So had a house full of kids every day, huh?
Oh yeah. As a teen, we literally got up and new kids came in and played in the house. But that's how they could afford it.
Yeah. And her being at home, right?
Yeah. And she never drove.
Oh, she never went everywhere, huh? She needed something. It was you guys or her husband, huh?
Correct. Well, Pearl River's that kind of town that you can walk to the supermarket and.
Well, back then they probably didn't have a supermarket. They
have super. Oh, sure they did.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But she never drove. But I tell you, she could get in a car and tell the driver how to get wherever she needed to go.
Oh, okay. I was going to say got in the car and told the driver how to drive. That's
Yeah.
what I
Well,
thought
she'll do that too, and a cute little Irish brogue, all 4 foot nothing of her.
Yeah. We just we came down from Vermont, stayed the night in Boston, walked the Freedom Trail, where it's all about the Revolutionary War and all that. And big section of that is about Irish and why they came here and
the
big
famine.
migration. Yeah, famine. That was interesting. Like you could feel it reading about it and seeing the statues and stuff.
Yeah, you go to Ireland itself and you actually see the memorials on the West Coast, in and around Westport. It's sad.
Yeah,
it was a horrible situation.
It was hard, dude.
Yeah.
I can't even. I mean, obviously, I can't compare. I can't even fathom what it was. I mean, that's like out of my reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. I can imagine. You can't.
Well,
imagine.
it was for the longest period of time. It was the country that you grew up to leave.
Oh,
You literally survived long enough just to leave.
That's what people say about Jersey.
Wow. I can't blame them.
Let's
stay away from politics, though.
Yeah, but when I first moved here, because I moved out here from Colorado, and people are like, "You're doing it backwards,"
Yeah.
And I said, it's what you make it. Any place is what you make it. You could sit here and as you know, and other people will listen. I was in the video business for a long time, and making commercials and all that stuff. And what I used to say is, I could take any state, any location, and what do you want it to look like? You want it to look like a shithole? No problem.
Right.
I can give you a 20-minute video that's the biggest shithole in the world. You want to make it look beautiful? I can make it look completely beautiful, And I think where Jersey gets the bad rap is when you're passing through, you're on the turnpike, and you go through that section with all the
refineries.
And that's what people think Jersey is.
Right.
It's like, man, no.
And whatever they saw on the Soprano reruns.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I come down 21 from Newark down into, the truck route through Newark and down in. And when you're coming underneath like all the overpasses and shit, every fucking time that theme song rings through my head, because that's what it looks like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Every time I'm like, woke up this morning and start singing it. You a big Sopranos fan?
I was during the show. I enjoyed it. I mean, who didn't?
Right. Yeah.
Sad ending for James Gandolfini, but
Yeah, he got big. See how big he got?
Well, yeah, but he has since passed, and
Yeah, but
he was
fat.
my age.
No, but he got hugely fat, dude.
He grew up just over the border from Pearl River.
Okay.
There's Montvale and then Park Ridge. He was a graduate of Park Ridge High School in '79, and I used to bartend in a place right over the border and work the door. And I guarantee you, he was in that bar with us as kids, because the guidance counselor from Park Ridge High School owned the bar. And students all came in. It was hilarious in the day. And, New York was 18 at that point, and Jersey was 21.
Oh, so they come over the line.
Sure.
Yeah. I used to do that from New York to Canada.
Okay.
Same thing, 21 to 18. So,
sure.
Speaking of that, my dad and I were just talking today that we'll call it the art of the happy hour is dying.
Yeah.
It was a big thing 3-4 times a week after work. You just met your buddies at the bar, and for 2 hours.
It's kind of morphed into the breweries. Have done that.
The tap rooms and stuff like
Sure,
that, right?
they're all doing that.
Yeah, I guess so.
They strategically open at 5. Some open at 4, a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
But they're the new go-to places.
I guess so.
You bring your snacks in. Yeah.
And can you like bring your own food in? Like, if
Well,
you
that's the
wanna
whole idea. Yeah.
Bring your own pizza in, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chuck's got we talked about that. Chuck's got an
Mm-hmm.
amazing place out there.
Yeah, it's good looking. Yeah.
He did a lot there.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. That's speaking of Chuck, that was the last beer I ever drank.
Oh, yeah?
The King's.
King Urbinus. Yeah, it's...
That kicked my ass, dude.
It does, yeah.
I woke up the next morning. I'm like, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Hadn't had a beer since. So
Wow.
yeah, it was the
That was my networking thing. Business over beers.
That was
Yeah.
the last time I ever drank. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, that
You
was
still
good.
doing those?
I am. Yeah.
They still working out pretty good?
Yeah, got a fairly steady crew of about 20, 24 people
They go
that
to 'em?
come.
Yeah.
I'm actually toying with taking it on the road now and push it outside of the greater Mount Olive area, and actually get a core group of people that want to go to other breweries and see if I can.
Kind of network through it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
well,
be cool.
my hands are untied now because I'm no longer the president of the Chamber of
Chuck
Commerce.
took it over, right?
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah.
I saw that on Facebook, I think. I don't know. I saw it somewhere, but
Yep. So now he'll be busy.
yeah.
I'm free to
there you
roam
go.
around and do
Yeah,
something different. Well,
yeah.
3 years was long enough as a
Ooh,
president.
is that how long? Oh wow. That's a
Well, it's a 1-year term, but I ended up with it for 3
3
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of a stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
couldn't
a big
find nobody to
commitment.
replace at the time, or you
I had a
just-
couple of people in mind as things went on, and you have to have the right person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Speaking of out that way, and Patty Singer, how about that's sad with her husband, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah, we were at the service.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
It was kind of a.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. Patty's a good friend, and I really felt for her.
Yeah, Patty's amazing, and I used to hang. Because what got me thinking is the networking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my wife and Patty were in the same networking group.
Okay.
So anytime they had an event, like outside there, the spouses would come, and Patty's Walter and I would hang out. It was like it was a given. It was like
yeah.
an unsaid thing. As soon as I got there, boop, I go sit next to him, or if I was already there, boop, he'd come sit next to me, and we'd hang out all night.
Yeah.
So I got some good quality time with him. He's just was a fucking super nice guy.
And-
Hard
and-
working too, man. That guy
hard
was up
working
at like
and-
3 o'clock in the morning.
And he was an outdoorsman, too.
yeah, big fisherman, right?
Yep.
Yeah. When's your next trip?
What type
Fishing.
of trip?
You got any big trips planned? You just gonna go down the shore? Sure.
No, I'm actually committed right now for the next two more weekends. I get 1 weekend off, and then the following 2 or 3 weekends between either CPR and safety course, first aid course I have to take. It has
Is
to
that
be
for the
Coast Guard.
captain's thing and all that?
And
Okay.
then from there, and by February, I'm going for my master license. So
So you'll get
what
a
I'm
cap-
getting. What I'm getting right now is what they call the 6-pack. So in other words, I can take up to 6 paying passengers
Okay.
on the vessel, and the next one is master. So I get rated for 25, 50-ton, 100-ton boats.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's the largest size vessel, and it's a whole another 50 hours of study.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine.
but when you apply for your license, it's a matter of having 360 days on the water over since you were 15. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so I have to
okay.
record every boat that I've been on, mated or driven, etc. All these years.
So even being on one, you didn't have to operate it. You just had to.
You
be
could
on-
have been a mate. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to be part of a crew on it.
correct. Mate,
okay.
fishing. You could even be a boat you owned, just documenting your time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they just want you experienced on the water.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you have to have that then every 5 years, 360 hours.
yeah,
Once you get it issued.
yeah,
So you're
sounds
constantly learning, and you know.
good. Yeah, but what's the old saying there? Calm seas never made a good sailor.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the way it sounds, what you're looking to do, those hours ain't going to be no big deal to accumulate. Or days.
No, the days now, it's not going to be. It's just recording it, sitting down, and then you apply to the Coast Guard. And there's a whole review process and what have you.
With
So,
the CPR course, do you have to go to a certain instructor?
yes, yeah, it has to be Coast Guard approved.
Oh, okay.
Because
That
it's
makes sense.
it includes CPR and everything else.
Now, does that, like a CDL, do you have to, like, somebody go with you and, like, they test you on a boat?
No, no,
Really?
nope.
So it's just written,
Yeah,
and then they send you
written
out.
study right now. Like I spent today doing charts, plotting, and navigation
So now, without instruments.
with instruments. Not,
No.
in other words, without electronic instruments.
Okay, that's what. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
good
So if you lose your
clarification. Right.
electronics,
That's
you
what I was
still
trying
have to know how to do it by hand.
Okay,
You know,
you're not looking at the stars.
not yet. I haven't gotten that far into it. No, but it's, just certain things, safety things that when you're operating a vessel, like every 15 minutes, you're writing your longitude and latitude down on a piece of paper. Now, for the most of the time, if you're just fishing offshore and you're inside of land, you're not going to do that because you
Oh.
can see land.
Oh, so as soon as you get rid of land,
Correct.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because you can go out up to 100 miles on that license.
on that. Okay,
Yeah.
so where's the 100 miles come from on a license?
I
like
wish
that?
I knew. I don't know. I don't
They just
have
don't
the
want
answer.
you going to England,
Yeah, I guess so.
right?
Well,
They
there'd
just-
be a whole different set of licenses to operate a big cruise
Transcontinental.
ship and operate a tug, towing. There's all different endorsements you get.
Sure. What's the smallest vessel you would feel safe in going transatlantic?
Wow. Never thought about that. Going transatlantic,
Smallest vessel that you
I'd
would
probably not consider it in anything under 50 feet.
feel, what would 50 feet look like?
A little bit longer than this room.
No shit.
Yeah.
You'd go across the ocean on a boat that little?
I wouldn't be far offshore.
What do you mean? Well, to get across the Atlantic, though,
You could hug Canada the whole way.
and then
Then make a
scoot
mad
over.
make a mad dash at the end, the way the sail ships used to do.
Do it. Yeah. We did part of our honeymoon. The last leg of our honeymoon was from Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
We took the Queen Mary 2 back to New York.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, dude.
That's something I've never done. Has been on a cruise ship.
It was an incredible experience. And you being, I guess, nautical, you'll like this story. So we get on the cruise ship, and they do like a show, and they welcome to the cruise ship, and welcome to the this, that, and it's not a cruise ship, it's an ocean liner. It's a story I'm about to tell. So the lady says, "Welcome to the last operating ocean liner in the world." And I was like, it kind of piqued my interest. So we went through it all, and every day they had, in this huge room, like auditorium, they had somebody speaking.
Okay.
So one day they had like an Olympic gold medalist, and
Sure.
every day they had something different. Well, the next day they were going to have a guy doing a big presentation on the golden age of ocean lining. And I
Okay.
was like, that sounds cool, because I like history, and
Right.
and I love the story of the Lusitania. I don't know, you familiar with that?
Not as
With
fully as I should. It was a torpedo, right?
Torpedo
right.
down. And and then later in the week, a guy was going to give a presentation strictly on the Lusitania. So I was like, oh, definitely check that out. But so I go in the next day, and a guy starts talking, and he says, "I bet you there's a lot of you out there that want to know the difference between an ocean liner and a cruise ship." And I'm like, yeah. And he goes into all sorts of stuff. But an ocean liner is designed to take you from point A to point B in style, from one destination to another in style. Okay? A cruise ship is the destination.
Oh, okay.
When he said that, I was like, bing, duh. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, makes
said-
sense because you think of what they pack onto those cruise ships now. It's ridiculous.
A cruise ship can physically make an ocean crossing, right? It's big enough, it's powerful enough,
Right.
this, that, and the other. But it can't consistently at 35 knots like an ocean liner does.
Okay.
That Queen Mary 2 cruised and it only had 2 engines going, or 2, whatever, I don't know how they, and it was at 35 knots.
Yeah.
You stuck your hand, like we had a deck, and all that, but you stuck your hand out and you're like, whoo, you're cruising at 35 knots on a boat that big. So the pounding that it takes and stuff like that, a cruise ship wouldn't be able to handle it.
Makes sense.
Over a long period of time, right? If there was an emergency, obviously a cruise ship could haul ass across the ocean, but not for 20 years, like a ocean liner.
Yeah.
And apparently that's the last operating ocean liner on the planet.
Didn't they have one on the West Coast? A QE? It was docked there.
Oh, but it's not. It's permanently docked.
Right.
It's the original Queen Mary.
Correct.
Yeah, now it's a hotel and tourist
Exactly.
and all that.
Yep.
But we did the whole experience, man. Every night we got dressed up, went to dinner, and
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, that's a fucking beautiful ship. But so toward the end, they said, "Hey, did you have a good time?" Absolutely. It was amazing experience. And she goes, "You going to come back?" And I go, "Nope." And she gave me the exact same look you just gave me. And she goes, "Why not?" I go, "The world's a big place. I did this already. Next time I have a week or two, I'm going to go do something different."
Sure. Makes sense.
You know what I mean? I did it already.
Right.
I can see maybe, you're getting a retirement or something and you use it to go back and forth or just to have a place to relax and all that. Like there was a lot of passengers like that. I could see that. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But the way my wife and I operate at this point in our life,
I'll give you.
I don't want to do the same thing twice.
Then I'll give you a suggestion. And I watched it. One of my larger clients, well-to-do doctor, invited me to be his guest playing in a golf outing out in Staten Island. So I said yes and
Sure.
came to the tricky tray portion. He bought every vacation that was listed. 1,000 here, 15, mostly timeshares.
Sure.
Different far-off destinations, what have you. He bought every one of them. I looked at him and I go, "Jesus, Doc, that's fair." And he was the honoree. I says, "Do you feel obligated to spend it?" He goes, "No." He says, "Harry, I steal these vacations. Somebody generously donated them. They're expecting them to be sold. So I get a $3,000 vacation
For $1,000.
for $1,000.
Huh.
And I'm doing good
Yeah.
and helping out I never thought about it. And I was like, Jesus, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So,
No.
and I had done something like that years ago. I rented a house in Kauai, and I was it was our broker dealer. It was a mandatory meeting we had to go to. It was in Kansas City, and that's where my broker dealer was. So the entire firm went, and we had to get education and all of this stuff. And they tied it in with a golf outing, and then it was for friends of kids with cancer.
Okay.
And I listened to this mom telling this horrible story, about her kid and the whole bit, and the kid fighting the cancer, and it was months. It was within 4 months or so of my dad passing.
Oh, so it's
It hit me.
wound.
It had hit me.
Yeah.
So I bought this thing for $2,500, and I got the most gorgeous house in Kauai.
For like a week or a weekend or something?
Yeah, on the ocean. And I packed up the family a year later or whatever on the anniversary of Dad passing and my mom, and says, cashed in my air miles, and boom, off
Kauai.
we went.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I had a lady, I play a lot of cards, so I meet people. I've played cards all over the world, and I do that. One, I love playing cards. Two, it's a great way to meet people, right? And this lady, I was playing down in Atlantic City, and what she does, she's retired. You know those American RV or RV America? You see those
Roadside America type thing? Yeah.
where they're all
RV
painted?
parks.
No, the company that you can rent RVs from.
Yeah.
Is it something like RV America? I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. But what she does is she's on their mailing list, and they'll send out an email saying, here where we have RVs, here's where we need them.
Oh, she just transports them.
They charge her $25 a day. So for her, that's her vacations. So the last one that she did when I was talking to her, she went down to Florida and she had to go to Yellowstone. Like you can say, okay, I can pick it up here and I'm going to drop it off here. You zigzag the list, right? So she's like, fuck it. I'll go from Florida to Yellowstone. She did it for 2 weeks for $25 a day.
Huh.
And she figured it out that her air flight down to Florida, the 2-week trip, and her flight back was much cheaper than if she rented the thing. Like if you just got online and rented it like a normal
and then
customer.
Paid by the mile, right?
Yeah. And she got a...
How cool is that?
Yeah, I told my wife, I go, we got to get on that list. How neat would that be?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm getting the captain's license, because there's snowbirds and people that want to bring their boat from the Hamptons down to Florida. They're not in a position to captain them and move them.
I never thought of that. How do they do it, right? They hire a company.
They hire a company or an individual to bring their boat down. Same thing with manufacturers. You buy XYZ boat and the manufacturer's in Florida and you live in Charleston.
Yeah. How are they going to get it there?
Bring it. Right. They don't.
Yeah.
A big enough yacht, they're not going to put it on a trailer. They just
they just
bring
drive
it up the intercoastal and...
Wow.
How cool is that? And they get paid to do this?
Yeah. And what I thought, and what that would be cool, right? And the same thing as RV.
Right.
Because now you're going to go to somewhere that you never thought you were going to go in the first place.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're going to see things that it's like the saying is, right? You know what you know.
Right.
You know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. Right? So if you go down to Florida and you get this nice yacht, one, you get to fucking drive a fancy yacht.
Right.
Right? And then you're going to go up the coast and see things and go places you would have never went before.
Correct.
You have no reason to go to those places other than do this. So that's, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Right? So now you look at this website and the RV company is like, the hell, man, we got some in Pennsylvania. They got to go to New Orleans. I'm just spitting here. I have no idea. But it's like, how neat would that be?
Right.
Right? Because one thing that my wife and I were talking about doing was taking a train from here to New Orleans.
Wow.
I guess like the scenery and the railroad and stuff, they have like a trip that does that, and then we'd fly home, right?
Sure.
But that is before, I just thought of this. That is before a buddy of mine does documentary films. He did a documentary on people getting thrown from the train. It's a real fucking thing. You got to YouTube it. You research it.
Getting thrown from the train.
People disappear. So
wow.
The last thing so they get on the train, right? They get the conductor, the ticket guy, realize, hey, you're there on the train. Gone.
Here's one you never knew about, and I just learned it last week in class. Now, we got a bunch of Italian guys there, so let me set the scenery.
You want to talk about it? You want to forget about it?
Yeah, listen to this. So, people are having their ashes spread over the ocean.
Okay.
So they get cremated.
Yeah, and they go spread it over the ocean.
Right.
Right.
There is paperwork that needs to be filed.
Yep.
And there's companies that actually take you out. And that person has to have a captain's license. So ashes are 3 miles. At 6 miles, you can bury an entire body.
Get the fuck.
Yeah. Has to be all properly documented. I don't know what the weighting requirements is, but I immediately turned to this Italian fellow beside me.
I go 6 miles?
His eyes are lit up, and I go, imagine all that shit you've been doing for nothing. You now get to charge somebody. And he knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
He died laughing. He thought that was the funniest thing. But I had never heard of such a thing.
At 6 miles, you can bury a whole body at
Correct.
sea.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to file paperwork, and it's all governed by the EPA. So I'm certain that there's procedures. Okay.
Right.
But it has to be at a certain depth.
Sure.
So
And you probably got to be
Right.
weighted or put in a certain, probably got to be
certain
prepared
amount of
and
weight
all that
and- yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Who was it that just buried somebody at sea? And they bought a special container
Okay.
that the ashes go in, and then it floats for a minute and then sinks, but then it'll dissolve within like 10 days. So it sinks, so the ashes just start floating on the top of the,
Gotcha.
right? So then the container goes down and it, God, who the hell was that? I can't remember. But imagine that, a whole body, 6 miles, dude,
Yeah.
with a concrete block and a chain around an ankle. Toss it. That's fucking amazing. See, this is why I do this, because I would have never known that, dude.
I didn't know it until last weekend. I thought that was the funniest thing I had heard all weekend.
So that lets you learn in class. Like, they're okay, this is
Well,
what
they
you
were
gotta
talking
know,
about
right?
the different types of things, and the instructor, the captain, is telling us about this and asking guys, why do you want to do this? Why are you taking this course?
Oh, okay.
And this was one of the guys' answers. And
Oh,
I
he wants to charter.
Yeah.
So he wants to charter people that bury ashes at sea. That was like his whole
one of the
business
things
plan.
he was going to do. Yeah.
No shit. Well, I mean, yeah, I can see a lot of people burying at sea. Imagine how many are dumped without.
I'm not going near that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, ashes. I mean, people
Right.
just take an urn and.
Yep.
No shit. 6. Oh, 6. So at 3 miles has to be 3 miles. Certain depth or just at 3 miles. 'Cause I
3
think
miles.
at
It's
3
a certain
miles,
3 miles.
it's going to be a certain
Yeah.
depth anyway, right? Or 6 miles. Wonder why the difference. Current, probably, right?
Probably has a lot to do with depth and current.
Current. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I
was
mean,
thinking.
you take a look at
You're
things
gonna-
that take place with storms. They had, as an example, they're still having mines get churned up off the bottom.
No shit.
the ocean.
From the World War and all that.
Oh, sure.
Or from
Well, you
other
think
places,
about
too.
when the boat, when those ships were coming back, they were supposed to dump things at X amount of miles offshore.
Yeah, of course.
Well, many didn't. They were a lot closer before they started dumping. And
Okay.
every now and then, a big storm would come in and stir
Churn
all
all
of that
that
stuff
up.
up. They had something like 100, 200 blasting caps wash
No
up
shit.
after a major storm. I mean, just outside of Barnegat Inlet, about 2.5 miles offshore, they call it the tire wrecks. But if you read about it, it's where they dumped tanks. So they
So,
made
like
a
an Abram-
natural reef.
Out of tanks.
Just dumped them right off the ships. Yeah, made a reef out of it. I fish it all the time
No shit. Where's that?
off of Barnegat Inlet.
So they were bringing them back for, what was that, probably World War II?
Yeah, and just pushing them off the back. They were no longer needed.
No shit.
Yeah. Well, you think of, you look out west in the desert.
All those planes and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely,
Same type
it's
of
the
thing,
same
right?
concept.
My buddy was in the Navy in the very first Gulf war.
Desert Storm.
Yeah, he was telling me about he was on an aircraft carrier, and the aircraft carrier had a Black Hawk attached to it, right? So he was part of that crew, and the main purpose of that Black Hawk was to fly in front of the aircraft carrier and scout for mines,
Sure.
right? But he'd say when the aircraft carrier is coming back in, obviously when they're on quote unquote deployment, they're running efficient and trying to do the best they can, acting like they're at war and all that. Well, coming back, they'd have all this fuel left over. Just fucking dump it.
Yeah.
Because they got to, when they come back, they can't have anything.
Right.
Because there's like a budget, right? Oh, you didn't need it, so we're not going to give it to you again. So they dump all this fuel, in the ocean. So imagine all them fucking tanks. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's actually, well, it's habitat for wildlife at this point, right?
Yeah, it forms a reef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been to Pearl Harbor?
I have not, no.
Oh, that is, whew, that'll move you. If that doesn't move you, you ain't got no soul. I don't
Yeah.
care who you are, But that what got me thinking of it is the boat there that the memorial's over. God,
The Arizona?
Arizona, thank you. Where it's still leaking oil.
Yes, I've read that.
Yeah, it's neat how because it would be such a big excursion to get down there and drain it and all that. They just let it leak.
Yeah, it's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them when they put the booms out around ships to contain.
Then the oil,
There's always a certain amount of leakage and stuff coming off of ships, and the scum lays up on top, and then they clean it in many cases,
Right.
but they contain it. You go along the Arthur Kill River, you'll see it around ships a lot, quite a bit of the tankers. When I fish there, down out of Seawarren or off from in between Staten Island, you see all of that type of activity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I think it's out in the Pacific, the plastic.
That's churning off of Oregon. It's going
like-
in a circle. And
Yeah,
every
it
now
never
and then
moves.
It
It's
never
like
moves.
this
It
huge-
stays. Yeah,
And it's all plastic. It's
Correct.
like all garbage and shit, right?
Yep.
It's up by Oregon.
I believe it is. Yeah.
I knew it was out in the Pacific. I just didn't
Yeah.
know where. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It just got
and
stuck there?
then after big storms, every now and then, they've had entire containers come right off of the ships.
Right,
So every
right.
now and then, 2,000, 3,000 pairs of Nikes wash up on shore, and
'cause
people are shopping on the beach. Yeah.
Man, those container ships are nuts,
Yeah.
aren't they?
It's even nuttier being next to them.
Oh, I've never been really close to one.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you be on a boat next to it in the ocean.
It happens to me a lot.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
that'd
I've
be
gone
like
out.
that'd be
You
like
fish by the channel, and you see that coming down. I'll fish right alongside the edge of the channel
Right.
the water will go from 25 to 50 feet deep. Bass are a predatory fish, so they'll skirt right along that edge and shoot up and grab fish
Oh, okay.
that get swept
okay.
into the channel. So they're an opportunity fish.
Yeah, sure.
So every now and then you'll see one of these big containers coming in. You know what side of the channel marker you're on, and that sucker comes, and you're looking, and it's there. It's
Oh,
wild.
I can't even imagine being
Yeah.
on a boat next to that thing.
Oh, and they just had a horrible situation about 2 weeks ago. A pilot boat captain. Okay, now it's a term, or it's probably a job you've never even thought about. Okay.
Sure.
Well, this poor fella died. Now, let me explain to you what his job is. When these big ships come into New York Harbor, the captain of that ship does not bring the boat into New York Harbor.
No, yeah, I knew that, yeah.
A pilot boat captain comes out. They're authorized, trained, know the markers, know
And push
everything.
it around, right?
They don't
Oh,
push
no,
it. They pilot the boat.
Oh, so
So
he
they
gets up in the
Right up.
Wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah, and takes
okay.
over.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
not the ocean-going captain does not bring the boat into the harbor.
Huh.
So-
This is normal. This is
Every day.
Oh, okay.
This is
Huh.
taking place every day long.
That's neat.
It's the kind of job you were talking about your gig where you're at now. This is the kind of job that people inherit
Oh, okay.
from their family.
It's one of those.
Oh yeah. And
yeah.
I mean the earnings are like astronomical, like close to $400,000 a year.
Yeah, but look
So-
at the responsibility you got.
Not only the responsibility, but like no boat comes into New York Harbor and goes to Albany, okay, without that person being on board running the ship.
Huh.
So this guy, now understand this. Imagine the size of that cruise ship or that
Container.
container ship, okay. It's coming in to Port Elizabeth
Yeah.
with the
Every day.
containers every day.
Yeah.
So it gets about 3-4 miles outside the harbor. Pilot boat captain comes out. That boat's moving and doing this up and down in the ocean. A little door opens up on the side of that container ship, and a ladder, rope ladder, is dropped down. And this tiny little boat pulls up alongside of that big container ship, and that son of a gun grabs that ladder and scurries up into that ship, and then they close that watertight door. But that's how he gets on. In
You can
all
have
times of day, night,
weather, everything. You could
got
have your
it.
$400,000.
But think about that. And this poor bastard fell.
Oh, you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah, he probably hit the water and got pinched right in between
Too
the
big.
pilot boat and the container ship in a flash of a second. I don't know the particulars, but
Yeah, sure,
you could see
sure.
it happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen crazy stuff where guys are getting on boats on major rivers that were frozen. Same concept. They lay the ladder on the ice,
Okay.
and he walks out on the ladder. The ladder's laying flat on the ice. The boat has broken the ice. The door is open, and the guy walks and has to time his step right into the boat perfectly. I've seen video of that. That's just like amazing. I don't think I'd have the stones to do that.
Yeah, hats off to that dude.
Yeah.
Whew. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So in the middle, like, whatever, on the side of these container ships, there's like a door.
A door, yeah.
Just a regular old, obviously it's a watertight door and all
Correct.
that. But then they throw a rope ladder out, and this dude's got to basically grab it and climb it. Well, this, monster, floating city, basically.
Right. It'd be too expensive to run a helicopter. Think about it. That's how that pilot boat captain
Every day.
gets on. Every day that takes place. Yeah. You see them lined up in New York Harbor.
Yeah.
You could go across the Verrazano and look south. You see the containers all tied up.
Yeah.
There's a pecking order, and there's only so many of these guys and gals that do this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about the people that unload them with those cranes? That's a heritage job too, isn't it?
It's a strong union job. I have a neighbor that does that.
No shit. I heard they make pretty good money.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's something, being up there and swinging that crane and emptying those.
Yeah, operating engineers.
Is that what they call them?
Probably. It's the same thing that runs, cranes on skyscrapers. It's the same concept, I believe. Same an offshoot union.
Right.
Yeah.
I watched a movie where a guy put his partner, of course he knocks him out or whatever, leaves him in his car, puts his car in a container, and then buries it on a container ship.
Yes, I just saw that movie.
Was it with what's Stallone? Stallone's not the guy that was in the container.
It was Convict
or Escape something.
Escape 3.
I was actually pleasantly surprised from that movie.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be some cheesy ass.
No, 1 and 2 were good too.
Yeah.
I just saw it this past weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I liked 1 and 2, and I was sitting here one night and I'm just lazing around. I'm like, I'll check it out. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. But imagine being in that fucking container. Fried him, I guess, right?
It did, yeah.
Imagine how hot that gets down there.
Yeah.
Because that's just, and nobody hear you scream, dude.
Nobody.
Duh, you're gone.
You're done.
Whoo! And then somebody opens that up. There's some fried bacon in there. That'd be a hell of a way to die, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But captain's license. Good for you, dude.
It's something different, something I wanted to do for quite a while. So
the way I would say it is, if you can't stop thinking about it, you need to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the end run or the outcome will be.
No analysis paralysis. Just get after it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to keep working, and something will develop from it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I tried explaining it to my wife a little bit, and it could open up all sorts of new doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get you in new places and new experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, man, that's what life's about. It's not fucking...
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
A saying I like is you lay or you hide under your bed long enough, it'll fall on you.
True. And I mean, you see the way I dress and, how I am, and this is the way I am every day.
Yeah.
I live it. I saw a picture of a guy recently, and I just learned a new expression. Have you ever heard of, what's it called? Lumbersexual? Look it up.
What? Lumbersexual?
Yeah. There's a whole group of people that are dressing like outdoorsy people.
But they couldn't hold a chainsaw.
They couldn't even find their way into the woods, let alone find their way out of the woods. I saw a picture of a guy recently.
Lumbersexual. I'll look that up.
And I tell you, it hit home with this guy I saw. He's a local guy, and I'm looking at it and I go, yeah, you're not that guy.
So a local guy is a lumbersexual.
somebody, yeah, it got me thinking about this, and I pegged him as that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not going to say who.
No, of course not.
But yeah,
I like the meme that says, if you have a beard and you can't change a tire, shave.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours posted a thing that said, what was that? A hipster got mad that his image was used, that all hipsters look alike, but it wasn't him. Something like that.
Oh, really?
Crazy, yeah. He's like, what are you using my image for? Oh, that's not you, dude. You just look like that. Because they all look the same and shit. Oh.
I get stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Whatever,
I'll invite somebody to go fishing with me or go ice fishing with me, and all of a sudden, they're either the expert or they've posted it, and this is my lifestyle. No, dude, it's my lifestyle. I invited you along in it.
Oh, the way they're posting.
Yeah.
And if you look at their Instagram, that's what they do every weekend.
Yeah.
hey, whatever, dude. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Right?
I was the guy that was out here hours before you by myself,
getting everything prepared.
Yeah, but if you didn't come, I was staying and I was still fishing.
Yeah. Another saying I like is a man without a blade is like a wolf without teeth. So if you don't, I carry one. Yeah, that's.
You mean this?
Yeah. Yep, I got this. I got a funny story with this one. Back in my bouncing days, you couldn't come in the club with a blade, obviously.
Oh God, no.
Right? And most people are right-handed, right? So just it's instinct. It was instinct for me to look down at your belt.
Sure.
You know, I'm like, dude, you can't bring that in the club. And his girlfriend was with him, and he's like, nobody takes my blade away. I go, all right, dude, I know it's all good. You know, cool. Just slide it down in your pocket. You know, so nobody can see it, or the biggest thing, you couldn't easily get to it.
Correct.
Right.
Sure.
And he goes just like this. He goes, nobody takes my blade from me. Just like that. And I go, boop. And I took it out of his hand. He goes, what? And I go, that's nice. Put it in my pocket. I go, have a good time.
Yeah.
You're going to get my blade. Give me my blade back. Come fucking get it. Man, get the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah. Pull a fucking knife on me.
I had a guy.
I've had it ever since. I broke the tip off it, though.
I got one of my toolbox.
I was trying to work something and broke the tip.
Straight dagger, double edge. I took it off a kid in the 80s.
Oh, no shit.
He came into the bar. I was working the door. We have similar background. And it was the kind of bar we just, every weekend there were fights.
Oh, those were the good ones, though, man.
Yeah.
How about that? Where you clear the whole fucking bar out, everybody goes fucking skulls to knuckles, and then 20 minutes later, you're all back in the bar drinking beer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I've been involved in
so many. It was at a particular point. There was a kid that had gotten killed in our area, a young girl, and they still bring it up and talk about it. One of the assailants got parole just recently. This is how long ago this thing's been going on. So anyway, this kid, he was a knucklehead. He came in with this straight blade dagger. And
for what?
He showed a girl, either showing off or trying to intimidate her. And Walt, I'm telling you, this girl came to me as white as you could be. She had gotten rattled.
Oh,
and says
pulling
this
out a blade like that,
right? And I'm telling you, this bar wasn't that big of a joint.
Okay,
but it was the type of place that when it got hopping, had exceeded capacity, and all the guys on the door, it didn't matter how tall you were, we had to stand on chairs just to monitor the situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
And there'd be three of us. So anyway, I come down, I grab the guy. I couldn't get back to the front door. I get him to the back door. But as I'm grabbing him, he went to take it out of his jacket. I grabbed it, slammed his arm down onto the bar with the point of the knife going right at the owner, who was behind the bar pouring. And I knocked the knife free, and it shot straight across. And I put the kid's arm behind his back, grabbed him by the back of his hair, and I start pushing him
out the door,
out to the back door. I got to tell you, this girl had then gone and told her friends what had just taken place.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to the to take one step down with this kid. They literally pushed me to the side. They picked him up and threw him down the flight of stairs, out the back door into the alleyway.
The girls did?
Hit her friends and just tuned this kid up like
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have that knife to this day.
Fun. So I do an old bouncing story. It was a lot of fun. So a lady came up, reminded me of it. A lady came up and said, "Hey, this guy's bothering me." So okay, I go over and I say, "Hey man, what's up? Yeah, come with me to the front. We need to talk about it." And I was by myself. And he looks at his two buddies and goes, "Are you ready?" And I was like, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, oh, here we go. But dude, so he goes, "You ready?" And they go, "Oh yeah." They lock arms and sit on the ground Indian style with their arms locked. And the one guy looks at me and goes, "If you're taking one, you're taking all three of us." Like protesting.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, okay. So I reached down and I grabbed the dude's ear and just started pulling. And I pulled all three of them like a train. They kept their arms locked, and I pulled them right out. I kicked the fucking front door open. I walked right out holding the one dude's ear. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Are you going to protest in the middle of a bar? And first of all, why the fuck are you sitting on a bar floor? Do you know how dirty that is?
Disgusting.
Yeah, beyond dirty. It's disgusting. Yeah. But I just remember that. I was shocked. I was like, first.
But those were the good old days that you'd square off, and the most you would see is a stupid knife or a box cutter.
Yeah.
I got kicked in the mouth one time. I had thrown a guy over a table. I was picking him up, and a girl mistakenly, as she was running out, put her hand on my back because my back was exposed, and I reached up and I grabbed her by the throat and I squeezed. And when I realized it was this poor girl,
eyes big, fucking looking at you.
I let go. I still had the guy, and somebody threw me a cheap shot and kicked me in the mouth. It took 20 years for the tooth to die. You know what I mean? I didn't get it knocked out, but some poor bastard got his face cut open from. Remember those old cheap beer mugs?
Oh yeah, of course.
He got hit in the face with one of those, and it just opened him up.
Shit.
Oh, it was god awful.
I had a guy cheap shot me. I was messing, trying to get a guy out. And a plastic pitcher cheap shot me, banged it over my face.
Oh.
And I was just like, what the fuck? But those are, I tell guys nowadays, I said, man, at least the whole bar would clear out again.
Square off.
Yep. Nobody was mad at each other. It's like playing football. You left
same thing in high school.
You left it on the field.
It was done.
And you got me good, dude. All right, beer's on me.
Done.
Now they'll shoot you from a half a mile away. It's like,
I think look, it's the zero tolerance that's taking place in schools. Kids don't have outlets. They're penting up all of this anxiety.
And they took away fucking gym class, dude.
Yeah.
And recess, and recess in the younger, right?
Right.
But gym class, where do you think a human body is not meant to sit here like we do now, right?
Right.
You wake up in the morning. If you take either public transportation or drive, you sit. Then you go to work all day, you sit. And then you come home, most of the time, you sit and watch TV.
Right.
Where the fuck is all your energy going?
Nowhere.
You got to have... A human body is meant to pick things up, walk around, explore, get into trouble, hurt. It's okay to have pain. Injury's different, right? But it's okay to be sore. That means you fucking did something.
Right.
You moved around. Just move around, man. And people are like, and I got this off the internet on a video, but I love it. People are like, I'm too big, or it's too much energy to work out. You can walk to the refrigerator, can't you?
Right.
That means you can work out. You don't have to do the workout of the day of a CrossFit.
Right.
Walk around the block, jump some rope, do a push-up. Grab something, just throw it around a little bit. Then you feel better. And then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. But everybody wants it like tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
I did 10 push-ups. How come I don't have a big chest? I did some sit-ups. How come I don't have six-pack abs?
All right, look at the shoulders on you and I. It didn't come easy.
No, that was a long
years,
time. Yeah,
a long time.
But but the other thing too is somebody said it a couple years ago, and it stuck with me. The generation now, the reason they think that everything should be right now, because it is.
Yeah.
They hit an app. They hit an app. Somebody pulls up front and picks them up. They hit an app. It's food's delivered. They hit an app. They watch TV. They hit an app. Boom, 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 boom. Everything's right now. Instant.
Right.
The instant text message, email. Boom, boom, instantly. Well, how come I can't instantly make $100,000 a year?
Right.
How come I instantly can't have 18-inch arms? You know what I mean? So it's that.
You understand
It's
it.
right,
Classic
but when
example.
we grew, but the thing is, when we grew up, we didn't have that, right?
No.
We knew that everything we did took time, and that's how you took it. So I'm not saying that. What's the matter? What's the matter with this generation? There's nothing wrong with it. That's just this is the generation, right? This is what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have anything instantly. I mean, it was like an event to order pizza.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but nowadays it's boop, half an hour later, food's here. Boop, 10 minutes, fucking Uber, especially around here. Uber's here in 7 minutes, right? So that's my thought on why nowadays people think everything
Even
is
something
instant.
simple as navigation. How many people are lost unless their car's telling them where to go?
You're staring at one, especially in fucking New Jersey. I don't know how you guys ever fucking got around this place without navigation.
We use maps. I opened up a file cabinet.
Oh, and then you bitch that we're text messaging. That's a great example. People say, okay, you're sitting there text messaging while you're trying to drive. What about back in the old days where you got a fucking 3x4 map and you're trying to figure out where to go and you got a steering wheel this big and you're...
You had to sit there with a legal pad and you'd write out your turns.
Right.
I had route sales.
Yeah.
If I had to make 10
Main
stops,
Street,
bing, bing, bing,
yeah,
make a right,
I did the
make
same
a left.
thing out in Colorado. I
Right.
did the same thing. Yep. I'd go in the office. I had MapQuest. Remember MapQuest? That was like the first thing. I would pull up my maps and I would print them out on the machine for each day if I didn't know where I was going.
Sure.
But how the fuck, dude, around here in
I
Jersey?
explained to both my kids the national transportation system. Highways.
Oh yeah, of course. That was a military thing.
Right, but
Yeah.
even numbers,
Oh,
east to west.
west.
Odd numbers,
North,
north to
south.
south. How many kids don't know that?
yeah. Well, how many people know news? The metaphor for news: northeast, south, west, northeast, west, south.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, what do they call them? Boat means something as a joke.
Break out another 1,000.
Break out another. I knew it was another 1,000. I didn't know what BO was.
Break out
another 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I figured you'd know that one.
Love to kick in for gas. Everything else is somebody else's.
My dad's theory is if it doesn't operate on wheels, it's a fortune to operate.
Yeah.
Snowmobiles, jet skis, boats, anything that doesn't have a wheel.
Sure.
Tank, but I mean, how many people
I
operate a tank? So, yeah. What do you think, man? That was a good time.
It was.
Thanks for coming down. Is it what you expected?
Ah, piece of cake. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, right?
It was
You
fun.
weren't stressed out or nothing, right?
Do I look stressed?
Because people are like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Everybody's got shit to talk about, man. Look at all the stuff we ended up talking about. I didn't know that older fish produce more.
Yeah.
And who the fuck knew that 6 miles out you could dump a whole body?
I know. And you don't have to be Italian.
You just got to have a quote unquote paperwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I would like to find out the details of.
As soon as I get them, I'm going to research it even further. But I heard
You got to follow up.
Yeah.
You got to follow up and let me know the weight and does it have to be wrapped in
it
that
has
kind
to.
of thing.
I'm sure there's an entire
find
protocol.
out on that.
Yeah.
That would be fun that'd be fun for a follow up on this. So,
Right.
All right, man. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me, Walt.
There's a phrase that I love, and I have it posted on some of my social media and my website, and it fits perfectly for this episode. Everybody you meet knows something you don't. And that's the premises of this show, and that's why I love having people over. That being said, you got something you want to talk about? You want to sit here and just bullshit with me? You see, there's no format. Just sit down, have a good conversation. Let me know. Best place to get a hold of me is Instagram at WKT Podcast, or you can reach me through my website, Walt's Kitchen Table. And don't forget our sponsor, Live Rishi. Get a good night's sleep. Get those aches and pains taken care of with all organic stuff. You can't go wrong with this stuff, man. Just try it out. Use a code word table and kick-ass discount thrown your way. And other than that, yeah. Until next time, much love.